The Mission Impossible series has been going on for decades, but fans of the film are not ready to let it die just yet. Tom Cruise has signed on to film yet another installment, with Mission Impossible 7 scheduled to be released in May of 2022. Let's take a look at what we know about the film so far and what we can expect from the actors this time around. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.
Hold this for me, will you?
Mission Impossible 7 will be the next installment of the Tom Cruise-led series, this time directed by Christopher McQuarrie. Tom will reprise his role as Ethan Hunt, an IMF agent that leads a team of fellow operatives. Tom Cruise let his fans know back in January of 2019 that 2 new Mission Impossible films were in the works and that they would be released very soon. However, once the global pandemic hit, things took a bit of a hit for Tom and the crew, and plans were ultimately delayed. What's interesting about the 2 new films is that Tom says they will be filmed back to back, and Christopher McQuarrie and the rest of the crew will be on board for both films, so you can expect both of these movies to be incredible. When Tom initially announced the new films, he was super optimistic that everything would go as planned, and rumors began to circulate that the 7th installment would be released in July of 2021. Fans were going crazy about the film being released so soon, but as we know, these plans were very quickly canceled. It's safe to assume that Tom and the rest of the team planned on filming Mission Impossible 7 throughout 2020, but those plans would very soon be ruined with the arrival of the unforeseen pandemic. This means that we can now expect the film to premiere in theaters in May of 2022, with Paramount Plus announcing that the movie will be available for streaming in July of 2022. It's definitely a shame that they had to postpone the film for so many years, but I'm just glad that everything is now going well and that everyone is safe. Except that's not the case at all. Tragedy has struck yet once again for the cast and crew of Mission Impossible 7, and as usual, filming has been canceled and postponed for a later date. It was announced in early June 2021 that the film production was abruptly halted after one of the members of the team tested positive for COVID-19. This was super important because a recording emerged in 2020 that showed Tom shouting at his workers, threatening to fire each and every one of them if they broke COVID guidelines. He wanted to ensure that not only the fans get an amazing movie, but that everyone remains safe while doing so. Tom is known for being a very emotional guy, so it wasn't too shocking to see him putting his foot down and reacting in such an aggressive way. If you were to have seen the video, you'd have heard Tom speak about social distancing and say, "I don't ever want to see you that close to someone ever again. And if you don't do it, you're fired. If I see you do it again, you're gone. And if anyone in this crew does it, that's it. And you too, and you too. Don't you ever do it again. That's it. No apologies. You can tell it to the people that are losing their homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table or pay their college education."
To defuse these bombs, I can't find it.
You'll figure it out. I know you will.
Tom is not only an actor in these films, but he also serves as a producer and one of the lead crew members. He has the task of not only putting on a great show for everyone in front of the camera, but also making sure everything runs smoothly behind the camera as well. Because of this, Tom and Paramount Pictures announced in June of 2021 that production had been temporarily halted. He said, "We have temporarily halted production on Mission Impossible 7 until June 14th due to positive coronavirus test results during routine testing. We are following all safety protocols and will continue to monitor the situation." At the moment, we don't know much more about the situation. It was never announced who happened to catch the virus or to who it may have spread. We can assume that the people who were sick have now been removed from the team or have been isolating themselves for the appropriate amount of time. But we really don't know for sure. It's possible that, at this point, the entire crew has become infected, but this is purely speculation and is most likely not the case. Considering there has been such a major push for vaccinations recently, it's pretty shocking to see cases spreading like this so rapidly, but that's the nature of it. Tom was heard on an audio recording released by The Sun saying, "We are the gold standard. They're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us." While Tom is certainly right about this, it's still important to keep everyone safe, and I think he made a great call postponing film until June 14th. Just a short while before this, Tom was seen in several fan photos after he touched down via helicopter in the UK to film a few scenes for the movies in Bedfordshire. He made sure to keep his distance from the fans, but everyone said that he was lovely to be around and seemed like a great guy. This seems to be a common theme for Tom Cruise. Even though he is very eccentric, Tom has always been known for being super down to earth, and he's always willing to stop and chat with his fans. Henry Cerny, the actor being Eugene Kittridge, spoke recently about what his character has been up to for the last 25 years. Director McQuarrie supposedly reached out to Henry very early in the production process and asked him to come back for the 7th film. He revealed that he didn't know too much about what he wanted Eugene's character to do just yet, but he knew it was time for him to make a comeback. Though what made the process so interesting is that the director gave Henry Cerny the privilege of deciding what his character had been doing for more than 2 decades. When speaking with Film, Henry said, "I decided that he'd been to all the agencies on some level or other, had a good idea now of how the game is played and what its place is in this mechanism of national intelligence. I figured he'd been through all of them at this point, and he'd been schooled by Ethan 25 years ago." He's known Ethan. He's known he's done these things. He knows that Ethan is someone to go to. But he also feels that it's not ever good to have one person controlling everything. There's respect, but at the same time, it's like fire. We need fire because we've got to cook, but you gotta be careful with it. If you let fire do what it wants, you're in trouble. The relationship that they had in the first one, Ethan schooling Kittridge on who the mole really was and catching the mole, was the springboard to 25 years of Kittridge going through different agencies so he wouldn't be schooled again. It'll be super interesting to see how all of this plays out in the film and how they incorporate this backstory into the series.
No, man down!
For the moment, this is pretty much all we know about the new film. There haven't been any more details released about the plot or pretty much anything else. We will just have to wait and see how things play out for our favorite characters. We will be sure to keep you guys posted with any updates, but for now, we will have to hang on until May of 2022. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.